Hey guys, going to be a little bit different here today on this video. Just want to say that I hope everybody's doing okay out there with this COVID-19 stuff. Scary times, guys. Scary stuff. But I know a lot of you guys are like me, locked in the house. I moved all my work stuff to the house here, so I'm actually not stopping on Synthpro restorations, just doing it from the house here. But I just thought I'd take this minute and just show you guys a pretty view out here. It's something I know a lot of you guys are locked in the house, and nice thing is about this place, we got a nice view, so it's kind of relaxing. But this is out looking over, this is actually close to Rome, Georgia. We're actually looking at Rome, Georgia there. On the outskirts of, we're right on the border of Georgia and Alabama here. You can see how pretty everything is. Wise Lake is back over that way. Center Alabama. But birds are singing. Just a beautiful day. We had a little bit of storms last night. It wasn't too bad, but turned out to be a really pretty day here. But you can kind of see that's actually when I'm not working on synthesizers and cars and all that kind of stuff. I'm down here cutting wood and been cleaning off this bluff here a little bit so we can get our view. But that is not easy work, guys, let me tell you. Cutting big trees down, stacking it. Luckily we got a nice chainsaw, but still a lot of work. But anyways, we'll head inside here and I'll show you the synthesizer stuff going on here. So anyways, today we'll be actually talking about this guy right here. This is Eric's Memorymoog. So Eric gonna go over this thing for you. To show you that everything's functioning here. Did a full restore on this one. You can kind of see here, there's my work table. Got everything to the house. It's messy, but it works temporarily. It's all just temporary stuff here. But anyways, Eric, something I want to go over with you guys that I hadn't really been over on the Memorymoog is actually the auto-tune upgrades. Because this one actually got the auto-tune upgrade, so this is kind of important for Eric to see. I want to show you guys some of the things that changes when you change the auto-tune upgrade. So all these units, there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of confusion out there about Memorymoog standards, Memorymoog pluses, what kind of separates them, what kind of changes. Well, basically, early serial numbers of the standard model would have a operating system that was early, and it would still have some circuitry that was referenced by analog circuits, meaning that auto-tune wouldn't always actually be able to pull in and see everything for the voices to actually do a full cal or full auto-tune. So what this update is actually a kit that Moog released as an upgrade. It changes the operating system, and it also changes some of the functionality as well. It gives you more options, it gives you more clear functions as far as what they're actually doing. So there's an easy way to tell if you got the auto-tune upgrade. There's a certain serial number started getting all these from the factory. This was a fairly early unit, so it didn't have the upgrade. One of the easy ways to tell, though, is if you got a plus model, it's already got it. A plus and a standard are basically the same units. There's a lot of misinformation there. They're the same exact units. All that the plus is expansion board with a software change to support the sequencer and MIDI, and that's really it. They added a harness. There's already a plug-in everything on this board inside for that expansion board. So, you know, it's just basically the same thing as a plus if it's a standard. It just doesn't have all the upgraded, the added board, basically. But here's the easy way to tell if you don't have the auto-tune upgrade. First of all, you can hit keyboard mode. And if yours doesn't say what it's actually doing, if it says a poly 1, poly 2, poly 3, poly 4, then you've actually got the older version, which doesn't have all the upgraded software, upgraded stuff. And what that does, that means your voices will not pull in all the time. This new software looks at a wider band of voice capturing, and allows it to pull the voices in from even a further out of tune state. So this actually helps with that, but it also gives you updated stuff so you can actually see what you're doing. Cyclic Mode, which is actually every time you hit a key it's going to cycle through the voices. Memory Cycle, that's where it actually will cycle depending on how you hit the keys. Reset, which is actually makes this thing like a mono synth with a polyphonic, but basically a voice will stay with a note. So as you play the keyboard, you can actually let off a note and play another note, and it'll actually keep that voice following that one key released. So it's kind of nice, especially when you start talking about glide. Then you got Memory Reset. So that's kind of what this does. It shows you exactly what's going on here. So we'll go back to Cyclic because that's the preset 1. But it also gives you some options in mono mode. So if we go to mono mode and go to keyboard mode, you can go to latest, low, high, and we'll keep it on latest. Hit enter. Then you can actually select how many voices you want to stay on when you actually are in mono mode. So if you just want it to be kind of thin sounding, you don't want all the stack of the voices, you can actually select how many voices you want. You can go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can turn on all 6 voices. And so that's kind of nice. That's a really nice feature. But that's a big way to tell if you've got the auto-tune upgrade circuits. Like I say, they all use auto-tune. They all have basically the same kind of architecture. It's just there's some things updated as far as time bases, some capacitor changes, and then some analog referencing changed to digital referencing, just to make this thing more accurate in its calibration of the voices when you hit auto-tune. So just to show you too, we'll hit auto-tune. Show you that everything tunes up here. Takes a little bit longer because there's some changes in there, but you can say 6 tuned, and I'll show you that all voices are working here too. We'll turn down all the voices except for oscillator 1. Turn everything off here. We'll go to sawtooth on all oscillators. There we go. So we got all of them turned down except for 1, and we'll go to debug mode, C4, enter, and now when I hit a key, hear all your oscillator 1s. We can open that filter up too. I think I have a faster tack. There's oscillator 1, oscillator 2, as you can hear, and then oscillator 3, which is actually a low frequency. Here, we actually go here right quick, C5, enter, C4, enter. There we go. There's your oscillator 3. Now we combine those together. So you can hear how that's working. So you can see that all voices are working. Everything's working like it's supposed to there. I also calibrated all the filters. But basically this thing got the typical stuff. I went through all the circuit boards, you know, replaced all the common failure components, full calibration, 12-hour burn-in, cleaning, conditioned the wood real good. This one actually was kind of neat because it had 2 little scratches, and you may remember these, Eric. It had 2 little scratches like right here, and when I conditioned this wood, they kind of disappear. They go away. Still there, but you just can't notice them as well. And it brings out the wood grain, and actually what that does is stuff soaks into the wood, and it keeps it from being cracked, you know, real brittle. It kind of brings it back to like a flexible state to some degree. I mean, it's wood, it ain't gonna be like super flexible, but it keeps it from cracking. And but it's turned out really good. I will show you too, this is your serial number, just so you know. It's 2290. Maybe I can get that. I think there we go. And also, this one did also get a Kenton MIDI kit. So I installed the Kenton MIDI kit in this one. So you can see it's got the jacks. Now this one already had a hole right here for external jack for power. He was using this one for actually powering a vocoder, but we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to build him actually a standalone power supply for his vocoder, so you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I don't like messing with power supplies and these things. But so anyways, what I did is I had to move everything kind of over. It shifted a little bit because of that hole being where it was. So these jacks kind of moved out a little bit. But that's kind of how it looks. Kept everything nice and neat though. As neat as I could for the, for how I had to work with it. But I also got to give a shout out to my friend Rob Rosin. So Rob, I've used his fan replacement. It's 117 volts. So I didn't have to do any kind of like 12 volt power conversion, which I do. The other kit, it's just a 12 volt fan running on the 5 volt unregulated side, and sometimes it tends to get noisy. I hear noise in the audio, and so what I typically do if I run 12 volt fan is actually build a 12 volt power supply, and I run it off the transformer on the positive slope of the negative side, and it keeps it from having any noise, and I also isolate the ground because it's got its own rectification for the fan circuit. So it rectifies and it's got its own ground reference, all that good stuff. But this is 117 volts, so I didn't have to do all that. So Rob, I just want to give a shout out to you. Fan works great, it's nice and quiet, and it was pretty easy to put in. It wasn't too bad. So Rosin Sound, guys, if you are looking for that fan kit, I'll send a link in this video. But anyways, just going to give you a good overview here of what you got. And like I said, I think you're going to be really happy with this thing, Eric. It's a lot different instrument than it was when I got it in here. This thing didn't work too well. It'd power up, but it would just glitch, and I mean, it was just noisy, and had several problems. A lot of it was in the demux. Had some voice issues. It had a bad 3340 on the oscillator on voice 2 or voice B, depending on what you want to go by. Third oscillator, it would calibrate, but it wouldn't track. You could actually pull the voice in, the oscillator in. It would scale correctly as far as the trim pots, but the minute you started going outside the calibration point, it would just start going out, and it would actually drift. You'd calibrate it and you'd be playing it, all of a sudden it'd just start kind of drifting out and come back and drift out and come back. And test position points with another voice. It wasn't a position point that followed the voice. Let me know right away it was in that voice, and it was an oscillator. So you got a brand new 3340. Trying to think if there's anything else that was just really weird on this one. I think that's really about it. So really the two big upgrades you got was MIDI, and then you got the auto-tune upgrade, which is going to make this thing a lot better. But cleaned it up real good, like I've talked about. But let me put the camera on the tripod here, and I will walk you guys through it. I got to do this a little different because I'm using a at-home tripod I had in my closet. So let me turn this off. I gotta hard mount the camera. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go over the presets with you just so you can hear it. And I've already been through oscillators. I think good stuff. So I just reset it on preset 1. Sounds really good. Your modulation works. Preset 2. I did load the factory presets on this thing too for you. So these are factory presets. Really good sound. I mean, this thing is very powerful. We'll go to one of my favorite presets. I'm just going to go through a few presets for you so you can hear this thing in action. This is one of my favorite presets. It's a pad. So I got a speaker rattling over there. works. And then we've also got, we'll just go through it. We'll go to mono mode. We'll go here and open this. I will center the frequencies. This too. Talking of reset mode, which I mentioned earlier, when we go to reset mode, I'll just show you how this kind of works. So we'll put some glide on it. I'm going to hold some low notes, play some upper notes, and reset the keys. See how that works? It's actually like a mono voice, but it it's kind of a cool feature there. Having these different modes. That's really what made this thing so great, because you could do all these different keyboard modes. So you could actually change the way the voices respond to notes. Play around here. I'll show you that the voice modulation works. Let's engage the oscillator into the filter. With the oscillator. We can actually do contour. That's uncontoured. That's actually using this contoured oscillator 3 amount, and what that does, when you use your filter contour, just your filter contour, which is actually direct to the filter, so it's working just like the contour amount level of the filter. So you can hear it. When you hit the oscillator 3 contoured amount, it's going to look at this plus this knob. Even though this is at 0, it's going to contour. You can invert that. But we'll notice that too when we go to downward oscillator. We'll do invert. He's actually inverting that. So there's actually some cool sounds there. You can do a lot of stuff within this, especially when you turn oscillator 3 into a low frequency oscillator, like a Memorymoog. And then you can actually use this as an oscillator. We'll go here. Slow it down. Oscillator sync. It's still tracking the keyboard. The oscillator 3 is still tracking the keyboard, so it gets faster and slower. We can turn that off. This right here. Change our pulse width. Also make that work with the pulse width. Over here. It's just the pulse width of oscillator. You hear it there. So the amount. It's really cool, so you can take that. Just put the frequency modulation from the oscillator, or from the LFO, on oscillator 1, and then put the frequency modulation of oscillator 3 on VCO2. Something like this. It can get really crazy too. As you can see, you can do some really crazy stuff with this interaction. And then, of course, you can turn the oscillator back on to a frequency modulation source. I hit C5 over here, but what that does, that actually references these to 0, even though if you turn them. So what's nice about that C5 function, right now we got it to about a fifth. If we hit C5, it pulls it back to 0. And that makes these things go to 0 without having to sit here and go back to 0 on the knobs. But just to show you that it is working, I'll go through those knobs right quick so you can see that they are actually functioning. And you're fine. offset. If I hit C5, you hear it pulls it. See guys how that works. Also, the arpeggiator works. You've got some more functions in your arpeggiator now as well. We'll do a as played. Actually make that latched. There we go. Now it sounds so fine. We'll go here. So here it is, the middle oscillator. See, we got that engaged. Now. Hit certain harmonics. Filter. Anyways, you can hear just how wild this thing can get. Anyways, you can see how that's working. That's just a little goof around there, so you can kind of get an idea kind of how that works. That's LFM synthesis within the architecture of voice modulation. And for those that don't know kind of what the voice modulation is, this is like a more complex version of a Prophet 5 polymod, as they call it on there. This is a very similar thing, but it's got more features, more options. It allows you to do a little bit more flexibility than you can on a Prophet 5. But anyways, Eric, I just want to take a minute here and go over this thing for you. And once again, guys, for all you that watch my videos, appreciate you watching. Stay safe out there with all this COVID-19 stuff going on, and there'll be more to come here from the bedroom shop. But y'all take care, and will be more to come. This is a very unhappy Memorymoog. About to get some surgery here.